Hello my YouTube fans. Well, as you can see on the screen, I got the bike. First thing I want to tell you is that, as you can see, I've already put 15 miles on it, 15 and a half miles. It's showing 81%, but in reality it's more like 77% because I turned it off and turned it back on again, and you know, the battery rests and it shows more than it really is. As soon as I start using it, it'll go right down to about 77%. So I gave it a good charge the first time I used it. That was Thursday night, and I rode around a bit, and I haven't charged it yet. So I'm basically testing to see how many miles I can get out of it. So already it's 15 and a half-ish miles, and I still have more than 75% of the battery. I want to show you the top speed and stuff like that. Now it's going to show 29 miles an hour, but that's because I actually tilted it on its kickstand and spun the wheel. So actually my top speed after I got it charged fully was 28.6 miles an hour. So I just want to, I'm being totally transparent here. Now as soon as I remember how to get into the, oh okay, yeah, let me just hit this button here. 16 miles is the total odometer. Okay, so it shows max 29 miles an hour, as you can see. Again, that's because I spun the wheel. So one of the things, I'm going to turn on some light here, even though the camera looks like it has light on it. There we go. Let me just see what that looks like on the screen. Yeah. So quite a few things. Before I take it off of the digital display, I want to show you some of the things that I've done. For one thing, I decided to, because this comes with 7 pedal assist levels, but it's capable of changing anywhere from 0 to 3 up to 1 through 9. So 0 to 3, 1 to 3, 0 to 5, 1 to 5, 0 to 7, 1 through 7, 0 through 9, 1 through 9. So some people out there, like for example, check out Russ's Right YouTube channel. Some people like him prefer less selection. People like me prefer more selection. So I chose the 9. Okay, pedal assist function. Alright. And I also changed the percentages. Now I don't want to mess it up after I did all that, but I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so one of the things I did change, of course, is the speed limit. Okay, I upped it to 28. Okay. The brightness right now is only, I have it on 3 because I usually have it all the way up, but because of the way the camera was seeing glare, I lowered it for this video. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, well that's just the battery voltage. How do I exit out of that? I don't want to change nothing. How do I exit out? I want to exit out of this. Uh-oh. Okay. Alright, I want to exit out of this now. Oh, here we go again. Okay. So, you go into the advanced settings. The speed sensor and assistant number is critical that it stays where it is. There's one speed sensor. There's 12, I forget, magnets or something. So we don't want to mess with that. So the power set is 1 through 9. I have it set at. Now I'll go back up to that in a minute. The current limit. It's a 22 amp controller, and I've talked about setting the current higher than it comes with. It comes set at 15 amps. The battery is a 15 ampere hour battery, and it is my opinion that that's why it's set at 15 amps. Now, a lot of YouTubers I've watched, most of them set it all the way up to 22. Yeah, turn it all the way up. But see, in my experience, in my old age, I've experienced that you turn everything all the way up, and you're going to burn things out faster. I'm not talking about the speed limit turning all the way up. The speed limit is a different story. You're just telling the bike that it's allowed to go up to 28 miles an hour. But when you're setting the current limit higher, you're asking the controller to give you more current than it normally would give you when the factory setting. Now that I've tested it, and I think it might actually increase the speed, maybe a half a mile an hour. I am not going to squabble over a half a mile an hour and taking a chance of burning out the controller. The controllers and the digital, the sensors and things like that, they use what they call MOSFETs. MOSFETs is short for metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So these things are very sensitive to heat and current ratings and stuff. So not to be outdone by the next YouTuber, I went ahead and upped it a little bit. I upped it 3 amps. So instead of 15, I got it at 18. But I am not going up to 22. I figured I'd give it 4 amps of headroom. Okay. I'm still playing around with the sensitivity and slow start. The idea is that you don't want the bike to instantly take off from under you when you step on the pedals. So I'm going to go back up to power set, and I'm going to show you what I did. Okay. The level 1 on 1 through 9, I think it started at 25%. It wasn't much different. Did I just mess that up? Okay. But I changed most of them down. So I got 25% on level 1, 32% on level 2. I think it was higher. I think it was like 35. It might have even been 40. I don't know. I made them all go down until I reached like 7. I think 7 was 70 something percent. And 8, I forget, was 88% or something like that. I turned 8 into 82, but then I went to level 9 and I upped it. It was at 95%, I think, and I upped it to 98%. So, in other words, I'm going from a quarter to almost all the way up on my selection. And I think to me that's better. I'm still playing around it. I might even change it again. Okay. We talked about these. The percent, the battery is the display gives me a percent. I can change it to give me the voltage. Okay, this is how I set the clock. This is going back, and we can exit from here. Dormancy is how long it takes for this to shut off automatically, and I just changed it for this video to off, so that it stays on through the whole time I was making the video if I'm not touching it. I could set a password. I haven't done that yet. I might. The display, I can clear the trip odometer, and the factory is setting it to the factory settings. Okay, now I'm going to exit. Alright, so now that you've seen all that, I'm going to shut the computer off. Okay. And I'm going to show you some of the other things that I've done. I'm going to put the microphone down. I might have to talk a little louder as I move away from it. So, one of the things I've done, and I'm about to move the camera to show you, is I purchased 2 of these sets of lights, and I only put the front ones on. I don't know if that's showing the camera yet, but I'm going to back this camera up. Okay, this is for safety reasons. It's a bit corny. Okay, yeah, it looks good. It's a bit corny, but I intend to be driving this thing at night. sometimes. For example, I'll be going to the chess club and coming back from the chess club during the summer. It's got dark out. In fact, it gets dark out sooner as the fall comes. So I don't know about driving in the winter yet. Haven't gotten there yet. Okay, so I did that. And the other thing I did was I didn't do the front balancing because the weight of the batteries that let me see if I can turn this. If you could see that black rectangular pack in the wheel, let me see if I can get this thing to stay still. Let me take a look at the computer. I'm away from the computer, so I have to look at the screen separately. Yeah, that black rectangular pack is the battery pack that these lights run on, and they're 3 AAA batteries, which is considerably heavy in comparison to, say, the reflector that's on there. But as these things come, now I was telling everybody that these wheels are unbalanced, and all bikes are, even the hugely expensive ones. But 99 out of 100 times is what I told people, that it's the stem, the valve stem, that weighs it down. But because the reflector, I'm sure you can see the reflector. Let me just make sure you can see the reflector. Because they put the reflector on there, barely. Okay, well, I'll see if I can show you the reflector better. Because they put the reflector on there, it actually is heavier on that side. And that reflector isn't just a piece of plastic, it's got some little screws on it and stuff, so it's a little bit of metal in it. Yeah, now you can see it. Alright, and as you can see, they put it on the opposite side of the valve stem deliberately to balance the tire, but it wasn't really balanced, especially the back tire. I was getting a reasonably noticeable bounce when I put it on the kickstand and spun the wheel, and I could show you that if you like. So what I did was, I am gonna show it to you, but first I'm going away from the microphone again. I'm going to lower this, and I'm going to try to show you on camera, if possible, what I've done to balance these wheels. What I did was I bought some fishing weights. I know the camera's all over the place at the moment. You have to excuse that. I'm lowering the camera tripod so that we can see the wheel. So, okay. Let me see how much of the view I've got on the screen. Yes, I can just about see it. And I'm going to point this out to you. What I did was I took some heat shrinkable tubing and tiny fishing weights. They're kind of cone shaped. And I put them inside the heat shrinkable tubing and shrunk the tube. There's 2 weights here and there's 4 here. I tried the 2 weights first and it wasn't heavy enough, and I put these on, and that made it almost perfect. And how did I tell that? I'm about to show you. So I'm going to back this up a bit. I'm going to lower the camera down. No, I'm going to raise it up actually. And I'm going to turn it back on. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. I hope you can hear me. I know I'm a bit away from the microphone. Let me see. Maybe I could put the microphone over here and you can hear me better. Alright. So, yeah, let's do that. I think that's probably better. Alright. So here's how I did it. I take the bike and I tilt it towards me against the kickstand. Okay? The power is on, and I do this. Now, as you can see, there's still a slight wobble. But trust me when I tell you, it was more than that. It was a lot more than that. I'm going to change this. I want to see how fast that was. Okay, so I still got 29 max here. So I'm still at 81% power here, but I still think it's really more like 77. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to watch the speedometer And see, actually, I'm going to put the camera back up here so you can see it. Putting the camera back up. Oops, wrong button. Oops, wrong button. There it is. Oops, wrong button. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera back up to this. Oops, I just moved my mirror and I got to go and adjust it again tomorrow when I get on the bike. Oh well. Okay, I'm going to put this back up. I'm going to make sure that we see it. I have to have room to tilt the bike. I think that might be visible if I don't get in the way of it. Let me see if I could do this. Whoop. Okay, so we're going to have to find a different way. We're going to have to try it this way. We might have to look at it upside down. Can you see it upside down? Let me see. Let me see if you can see it upside down. Not really. Okay. Well, how about if I bring the bike back and put the camera behind the other side and do it that way. Let's see if that'll work. Trying to see the screen and I'm not succeeding. Okay, how about if can you see the screen? I can't see the computer from here. This is getting a bit difficult. This is why I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make this video. I managed to bring the bike into the house by using a piece of plywood or two as a ramp. So I ramped the bike into the house very easily, actually. Once I tried to do it without a ramp, and then I waited a few hours and I said, hey, wait a minute, I got a couple pieces of plywood. Why don't I make a ramp? And sure enough, it was so easy with the ramp. I didn't even have to turn the bike on. I just did it. Okay, I'm trying to see if you could actually see this. Not really, but I'm going to go with it. And if it turns out that you didn't see it, I'm going to tell you about it anyway. How about that? Maybe that's better. Let me see. All right, so my hand is there. That means the screen is there. Maybe I can raise it up a bit. Okay, so if it doesn't come out in the recording, I'm going to tell you about it anyway. All right, here we go. $28, 28.4, 28.5. Okay, so according to this, it's 81% battery, even though I still think it's less. Freewheeling, it's still not reaching the 29 miles an hour. But that's freewheeling, and that's with 80% battery or less. So there you have it. I don't know if that came out on camera or not, because I can't see the computer from here. Let me see. Probably not. You probably didn't see that, but I'm sorry about that. So we're going to return the, I'm going to have to readjust this mirror again tomorrow. I hit it a couple times already. I'm sure I moved it. So I also got the mirrors, and I decided against putting the one on the right for some convenient reasons. It's for one thing, the shifter is in the way. Okay. And I tell you the truth, the mirrors cost $30 or more. I think $35, and that was on sale. Let me see. What are you seeing? Yeah. So the shifter is here, and then there's the brake clamp, handle clamp. Whereas on this side, which I don't think you can see, let me raise that up a little bit. Okay, so on this side, you only have the computer controller, and you don't have the shifter in a way, so the mirror can go further closer. I didn't put it completely up against this because I'm leaving room for the wire. I don't want to, squeeze the wire for the controller, for the computer controller. So I went ahead and just left the left one on. It turns out that I'm not really using the right mirror anyway, even though that is my bad side, because most of the time, because this is a vehicle, you're riding on the correct side of the road, and it's the left side that you want to see anyway. Now, sometime in the future, I might try something, maybe handlebar, what do they call them, the end of the handle mirrors or something like that. I haven't decided yet. But for now, the left one is fine. It is a little smaller than I expected. Of course, my eyesight is bad when it comes to trying to look into small mirrors. So, but it has helped me once I got them adjusted, which again, I'm going to have to do anyway. So what else can I show you? I added some reflectors. If maybe you have noticed, maybe you haven't. Let me see. Okay, added some reflectors. Basically, Walmart, a couple of dollars. They're tape. They basically stick right on. This can hold your cell phone, which is touch screen. It also is a pouch for, you can carry a few things. I got my garage door opener in there. A pair of I just bought some way too expensive sunglasses because they're not in there. I don't even know what I did with them. Because the thing is that I've always wore polarized sunglasses, and the problem with polarized sunglasses is that these LCD screen. Oh, I'm moving the camera away. These LCD screens, some of you don't know, some of you do. An LCD screen works on polarization. So let me just raise that so I can show it to you. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll pause the video so I can get my sunglasses and show you why I had to get, for the first time in decades, I had to get a pair of sunglasses that were not polarized because I couldn't see the screen. So I'm going to pause this video and go get the sunglasses. Pause. Okay. So I had these sunglasses for a very long time, for a couple decades even, and they're polarized. Then I thought I'd get a little fancy for myself and bought these at Walmart. They're polarized. But today, because of what I'm about to show you, I went to CVS drugstore and paid twice as much as I paid for the polarized for these, because these are not polarized. Now watch what happens. Okay, if I put either one of these are polarized, when I put it in front of the lens, the screen disappears, right? Now if I were to turn it, oops. Okay, let's do it this way. As you can see, as you turn, the screen gets black. because the sunglasses are polarized. And I'm wearing these things. Say the camera is my eyes, and as you could see, the screen is practically black unless I turn it. You see, if I turn it to straight, where normally, if I can look at the, see, it blacks out. See, there it is. It blacks out. I'm sorry, I'm shaking. I'm trying to look at the computer while I'm doing it. So I couldn't wear polarized sunglasses and ride this bike in the sunshine while trying to see how fast I'm going, or any other, odometer readings that I wanted to know, or how low my battery is getting, etc. So I had to go and buy non-polarized sunglasses. As you can see, there's no polarization. It doesn't block out the screen. It just makes it darker because it's sunglasses. See, twist and turn, it doesn't do anything. So that's the difference between polarized and non-polarized. Of course, the polarized lenses cut out glare, especially like reflections off of cars and stuff with the sunlight. But again, if I want to see what I'm doing with the computer screen, the trip odometer and the speed limit and everything, I have to be able to see that, and I can't be wearing polarized sunglasses in order to do that. So now that I've told you all this stuff, and I'm going to bring the microphone, I'm going to pick up the microphone now, and I'm going to talk a little quieter. So it comes with, I told you what it comes with. It comes with a bunch of gifts. That pouch that I showed you, it comes with these, it comes only with these flat bungee cords. These two I got at the dollar store. So it comes with the rack in the back. It didn't come with the mirrors. I had to pay extra for them. It came with a Magicycle hat, I forgot what else. It came with this lock. Yeah, it came with this cable lock. Can you see that on the screen? I don't think so. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can just point it down. There we go. So it came with this. Okay. It actually has a holder which is made to clamp to the seat post. I tried to put it on the thicker bars here, but it didn't fit. The trouble is that I have the seat all the way down, and for my small, because I'm a small guy, I had to have the seat all the way down. So the seat post is not available to me to put the chain on, to put the lock on. So I just wrapped it around the center. I don't care. I'll figure something out sooner or later, I'm sure. Maybe I'll see if I can raise the seat a couple inches or something. But basically, I'm already too short for this. So I can show you that by putting the camera in such a way that you could see me trying to climb on it, and how difficult it is even with the seat all the way down. Let me see. Let's go ahead and put the camera somewhere over here. Raise it up a bit. Turn it a bit. And you're gonna see it's really difficult for me to get on this thing. I'm gonna hold the brake so that it doesn't take off on me. Okay, I gotta lift my leg up, hold onto the seat, and as you can see, actually, let me point the camera down to my feet. As you can see, my knee can straighten out if I wanted to. So that is the perfect, basically when you adjust the bike, that's the perfect. It's a little bit low. I think I can probably go up an inch, but basically you're supposed to have a little bend in your knee and be able to sort of straighten it by kind of locking it. And that is the height that it's supposed to be, and that's with the seat all the way down on this bike. So as you can see, and I'm on my toes. I'm sitting on the seat and I'm on my toes to balance the bike, to the ground. So the bike is actually a little big for me. The manufacturer says the bike is good for people from 5'5" to 6'5". Well, I happen to be 5'4" or 5'4.5". I'm a little guy, right? I think I might have been 5'5" when I was a teenager, but in any case, that's the point. The point is, it is a beast, and If they had a 24-inch, I would have gotten that. They only had 20-inch or 26-inch, and the 26-inch is actually 28-inch because the diameter of the wheel is actually 28 inches. So, but they didn't have a 24-inch, so I wanted the bigger one. As you can see, it's a pretty big beast. You know, it's it's not a little bike. It's a monster. So there it is, and there you have it. So let's talk about the actual company now and how they kind of pissed me off. So I paid for this thing on let me talk a little lower and pick up the microphone. I paid for this thing on June 9th. The lights I got at Walmart. I paid for this thing on June 9th and expected it to be in my hands 2, maybe 3 weeks later. I expected at the latest. So then there was a delay. To make a long story short, I called them several times. To make a long story short, it was always, yeah, there's been a delay, you know, next week. By the end of the month. Next week. A week after the holiday. I said no. Send me the step through. If you can. Instead of this one. I got the right one. I got the one that I originally ordered with the bar. It's the step over. But I said, send me the step through and I'll take it now. And they sent, you know, the delivery was, you know, shipped, and I was expecting to get the one that I didn't want. I was expecting to get the step through. What they call it, a mid-step through. So I opened the box and it was the one that I ordered in the first place. So what the hell was all that nonsense about next week, and next week stuff? I don't get it. You know, all that heartache they gave me, and they ended up getting the one that I wanted in the first place. So I don't know what happened. Maybe they got a last-minute shipment just before they shipped out the other one and gave it to me anyway. I don't know. But, you know, it is a good company. It is actually an American company based in China. So it does come from China. There is a shipment, you know, there's customs and things like that. But, you know, it's just a little bit annoying that a company would take your you know, $1.5 grand of money and then just sort of like yawn and say, yeah, well, you'll get your bike, don't worry about it, you know. That's not right. That's not right. They should actually give you some forewarning. If they had told me, yes, it's going to be a long time before you get it, I would have not said anything. But no, they kept saying next week and next week. So that's the one pet peeve I have. Other than that, I think it's a terrific bike. I did have to adjust the shifter, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was turning screws, and I was making it worse. So, but I did actually adjust the shifter. The front brakes scream when I squeeze them tight. I don't want to call it a squeal. It's more like a singing. But I can't demonstrate that in the house because I'd have to be moving to really demonstrate that. But it doesn't always do it. It only does it when I squeeze them, you know, to stop hard. But you know, what else can I say? I don't know. Oh, so I only charged it. Did I tell you about the charging? I only charged it once when I first got it, and I've been riding it since. That was since Thursday, and right now it's still showing 80%. I'm surprised because when I came home from CVS earlier, it was down to 77%, and now here I am playing around with it, and showing you how the wheel is balanced, and it's still at 80. So I don't know. I'm gonna still call it 77. So we're looking at. Let me go back to the odometer. The odometer says 15.8 miles now because obviously I spun the wheel and it counts as travel. So not quite 16 miles, even though it says 80%. We'll call it 77. Hey, we'll call it 75. What the hell? Say 16 miles at 75% battery power. So I'd say that's pretty good. I mean, again, you're going to get different results if you get one of these because it depends on how you ride. Are you going to pedal? Do you use pedal assist? How much pedal assist do you use? Do you like to play around with the accelerator all the time? That sort of thing. I was doing all of the above. I was test driving it. I was in various pedal assists. I was testing to see how fast I can get it to go with the accelerator only, etc., etc., etc. So the last 2 days, yesterday and today, I used pedal assist and some acceleration, and I wasn't, only to show some. The strangers around here make me very popular all of a sudden, because everybody sees it, and I got total strangers coming up to me and asking me to demonstrate. So I did do that. I did actually floor it and show them, but that was only for a couple of seconds. But for the most part, I was using the pedals, and then when I got tired, I get tired very easily pedaling. I would put the accelerator on. It's hard to adjust the speed, but I was using like 15 miles an hour, so I wasn't going crazy with it. And then I would go back to pedaling again with pedal assist various, depending how fast I wanted to go. I think when I was further away from the house, I used pedal assist 8 or 9 to get going fast, and then I took it back down to 4 or 5, things like that. What else? So if it does 16 miles at 25% battery usage at 16 miles, it'll be 32 miles before it reaches 50 if the calculation goes direct like that. It might not go direct like that, but that's what I'm thinking. In other words, this thing only has a range from 30 something to 55 miles, and the way I've been riding it, I've been basically maxing it out. I've been doing good. I'm not maxing out the speed, but I've been maxing out my range by using pedal assist and gradual acceleration and stuff like that, with the exception of the fact that I tested to see how fast I can go a couple of times. But I wasn't doing that for long times. I was just doing it for short bursts. So what else? If you had any questions, just go ahead and comment. Subscribe, like the video, tell me what you didn't like. I don't know, did I forget something? I'm gonna walk around the camera with this microphone in my hand and stop the recording. So I know. Wait. I forgot to show you. Now, one thing, see, I knew there was something I was forgetting. There's one thing that it should have came with, in my opinion. It should have came with turn signals, because what it does do, I didn't show you the headlight either. So I'm going to put the camera there, and I'm going to shut off the top headlight, big light, and I'm going to turn on the headlight, which also turns on the tail light. Okay, so the thing about the tail light, just like a car or a motorcycle, it is a brake light. As you can see, it goes brighter, right? Yeah, barely notice it, but it also, even if I turned it off, okay, it's still a brake light. Okay, the headlight isn't very impressive. Oh, by the way, the computer screen dims when I turn on the light. The headlight isn't very impressive. It does the trick. So there's the headlight. Okay, and the pattern is kind of a rectangular pattern, so I'm going to shut it off and show you what it looks like when it's shut off. Okay, so that's the headlight. There are better lights that I can get for it. I'm not gonna go crazy over it for now. The reason why I got the blue wheel lights is for the purpose of being seen better, and it has worked. I was driving this at night, and people were stopping at stop signs, looking at me and waving me on to go and things like that. So I think so far I'm pretty good. If I get another headlight, I'll get another headlight. I don't know yet, but I'm doing pretty good so far. So now that I think I've shown you everything, I'm definitely going to sign off. And please subscribe. Oh, look at that. Now I'm sitting in front of the computer now, and I noticed that those wheel lights actually shine on a fork. That is cool. It makes the whole fork kind of glow. That could just be a camera thing. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Comment. Tell me if I missed anything, any questions you might have. I'm still working on the testing the range. And so far, what I just told you tonight about the range is what I've got so far. What I intend to do is to run the battery down to at least 50%. And I don't know how long that's going to take, but we'll see how many miles I get out of it at 50%. And I'll report back to you. Thanks for watching.